Hey guys, it's Karrie Schust. Happy St. Patty's Day. It is, it's about 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, and we are gonna shift gears a little bit. How many of you are wanting a list of things to do and how to get them done naturally, safely, and effectively? And we're gonna do that. So for the next few days, we're gonna talk about some spring cleaning, some green cleaning, and it's hard for people to get out and around and go to stores. So some of these things you may or may not have, and that's super fine, but I wanted to talk to you about cleaning things with nature's goodness, which is essential oil, and I love using doTERRA because it's pure and I don't have to worry about synthetics. And so for those of you who know or who have ever been on here, I love teaching about gardening. I love to educate you guys about cleaning and cooking with essential oils. So tonight, we're going to talk about two ways. One's just a general purpose, and another one that I'm going to make for you is one that just kind of knocks it all out, right? Winter wellness. I don't know, around here in the springtime, everything is blooming and people are, there's seasonal issues going on as well as other things. And we want to make sure that we can take care of a lot of that by using what nature provides us. So years ago, our oldest, who will be 19 on Saturday, actually, just had really bad allergies and symptoms, and we were going to the doctor all the time. It was super expensive. And the one thing that I learned is that some of the cleaning items that I used and had used for many years had trigger points because of the chemicals that were attached to it. So researching a little bit and finding out that I had no idea what I was cleaning my house with. I figured the more pine, the better smell, the more I could smell bleach, the better off I was, that it just needed to be that way. And what I found as I slowly crossed over to cleaning with natural solutions was there was not such trigger moments. My house smelled amazing. I like cleaning, so that's always good. And I use commonly orange and lemon, and those are high citrus oils, and they also invoke happiness. So who doesn't want to be happy when they're cleaning? And you can actually give this to your cleaning service if you're commercial or residential, and they can do the same thing, just larger batches. And please feel free to message me after this. So what I've got 2 glass bottles, and I'm going to talk to you about a variety of things. You can do the mixtures with white vinegar. You can also do some of these mixtures with hydrogen peroxide. You can actually use some Castile soap, so for those of you, and for those of us that want some extra scrubbing power, right? I use borax, and it's just plain old borax, but it also helps to conquer mold and mildew. So if you are in a high humidity or high moisture area and you don't necessarily have bleach accessible to you, you can use borax as a mixture of water. You're gonna make a paste with that. And then to add a little bit more, you guys can actually use just good old table salt or even baking soda. So borax, baking soda, hydrogen peroxide, white vinegar, Castile soap, and salt and water. So it can be really, really cheaper, faster, more effective for me to just make my own than trying to get it or have it delivered or going to a store right now, which doesn't work well. So I got a lot of things cooking because my whole family's home right now. So the one thing that I want to make sure is that I'm disinfecting well after I've done my cooking. And to do that, I use it's a lemon general purpose spray. So lemon, for those of you who don't know, with doTERRA, and it does matter the oils, because there's 3 ways that you're going to be able to use oils if they're pure and potent, and they don't have any synthetics, and they don't have any petrochemicals, and that's going to be topically, internally, and aromatically. So when you're cleaning, obviously you're using your hands, and I don't use gloves when I'm at home because I like to feel what I'm cleaning. A lot of people like to use their hands, which is totally fine. But topically and aromatically is what I'm going to be doing when I'm cleaning, right? So lemon, it is a beautiful thing of limonene, and it also has pinene in it. And so what we want is that we want that high level of antibacterial, antifungal, especially when you're doing kitchens, baths, doorknobs, etc. So it's, you know, it's also known to be a top property. And what I keep looking down at is I always have a reference book. I've been doing this for 11 years, but I want to make sure that you guys know exactly how to get the same information that I do. So I have a book that tells me all about it. And it's actually very pretty. See? Going into lemon. So we are looking for something with antioxidant. We're looking for something antibacterial. We're looking for something antifungal. And it actually has the science research right in here for me. So I don't even have to look it up to see if it's legit or not. All right, so super simple. You are going to add, we're gonna add 15 to 20 drops, and I add 20. And then I'm simply going to add some tap water. You're more than welcome to use bottled water or distilled water. But because I go through this so much and so fast, tap water is very sufficient for this particular thing. And this is great general purpose. Just spray it down after you've used your meat, your dairy. And you can use a microcloth or you can use a cotton cloth. So I have a bamboo cutting board and I love just to spray it down. Wipe the sides down and wipe the bottom. And then you're just gonna let that air dry. But it is fantastic for doing your counters. Just you can spray it all down and then just wipe it down. Super simple. And it smells really good. So, I mean, how many other home cleaners would you just spray on your hand, right? All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is one for a power-packed winter wellness. Like, I want, if there's anything going on or coming into my home, you guys can write down to spray in the bottom of your shoes. So the 3 oils that we're using for that is going to be lemon, melaleuca or tea tree for a lot of you, and thyme, like the herb, right? So super simple, these 3 oils. Beautiful. So let me tell you, I've told you a lot about lemon, but let me tell you about tea tree. And it's antiseptic, antibacterial, antifungal, and it's antiviral, which absolutely pulls in everything that I need for winter wellness, right? Because there's all sorts of things that float through the air and sit on top of surfaces, and I want something that's just gonna bust through that doesn't have a chemical toxin attached to it. So as I've learned to green clean throughout the years, this has been a great thing for me to add. I do 8 ounces of Castile soap if I want an all-purpose, like a scrubbing soap, right? So 8 ounces of Castile soap, and I'm going to put 20 drops of each one of those in. And a little goes a long way of that scrubbing soap. But on a spray, we're going to add the same thing. And we're just gonna take, again, 20 drops of lemon. You guys still with me? Anybody have any questions? Thyme. Who doesn't need more time, right? And then 20 drops of tea tree or melaleuca. Oh, what's cooking? Well, because it's St. Patrick's Day, we did corned beef and cabbage with potatoes and a fried egg on top, and used a little celery seed from doTERRA, as a matter of fact, in that one. And then in the back, I am boiling cabbage to make a cabbage stew. So super yummy. Love cabbage, love the nutrients in the cabbage. All right. And so for this one, I'm gonna fill the rest of the bottle up with a topical solution, hydrogen peroxide. So you guys can see it goes right in there. And that was full strength. And so for this one, especially for doors, backpacks, you can just spray it on a paper towel. If you don't have a paper towel, you can do a microcloth, but you want to make sure you hit your light switches, your doorknobs, bathtub, your sink, the faucet areas, anything that people would touch. This is a good one. It's a great one to use for that. But I don't know if you guys can see, I have a wool rug in my kitchen. So I just make sure that I go through here, and because it's a high traffic area. And then I also get underneath my sink where my trash can is. So it's a good way to just knock out that crud, that little bacteria, those little germs. And it is a beautiful thing for you to make. It's super simple. But one more tip I wanted to tell you as we begin to spring clean things. Did you know, I love oranges, so I always have fresh oranges and apples. But once I eat my orange, you can actually take the rind and apply salt. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So I'm peeling it right now. Just peel a good chunk off of your rind, right? And you can actually take salt. You guys have questions so far? Like, you know what you're doing? Do you think this would be simple enough for you guys to do? So your orange rind, your lemon rind, your grapefruit rind, your lime, and you put this salt right in it. And this actually becomes a crazy, amazing stain remover. If you've got any stubborn stains on your natural stone, it's not gonna scratch it, it's not gonna hurt it, but it's also great for old porcelain sinks that stain really easily. And you just rub it straight up on the surface. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. But it actually releases the essential oil right off the rind. And it's great. And then you can throw it right straight down your garbage disposal or put it in your compost pile. But let's go back through everything that I've used tonight, right? 3 oils, lemon, thyme, and tea tree or melaleuca. Let's go back through the 3 ways that you can use these, right? Aromatically, topically, and internally. And I will be talking more in the next 2 weeks about using them internally, but aromatically, I just released essential oils from an orange. Every time I lift a lid off of lemon's great too. I use it in my water. And let's go to the products that I am using to blend. So white vinegar, tap water, or distilled, your choice. You can actually use hydrogen peroxide, table salt, just white iodized salt, Castile soap, and borax. And I will tell you, don't forget that borax is amazing for mold and mildew. So if you're fighting that right now in this, humid, wet time, use it. You can readily find these on a lot of online stores. A lot of stores have them still in the shelves. Haven't been to a lot of stores today. But it's a really simple way to begin using essential oils to begin to clean certain surfaces. So if you've been skeptic about it, you can read about the cleaninginstitute.org. The American Cleaning Institute.org does have scientific studies on it, as well as the National Health Organization. So it's a really good opportunity for you just to learn something different, the way nature intended it. All right, guys, I'm Karrie Schust. We're learning how to spring clean and green clean together. Enjoy your St. Patty's Day. Bye-bye.